That's nice. I'm glad. Hi, Eva. Thank you for coming
Hi
again.
again.
You don't need to be here, but I'm glad you're here. Did you just
I
want to sit
totally want to be here. I want to support you.
Oh, you don't, it's fine. I'm all right. We might just be the two of us. Who knows who's going to show up?
I hope other people show up.
How did you like that piece, huh?
I loved it. I've never heard it before, and now it's one of my favorites. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was very interesting. Like before you described it being like Sunday and stuff, like a Sunday morning, like the bells reminded me of like going like walking outside down a road and there being a church and stuff. So that
Yeah.
was really cool. I really enjoyed it.
You know how you go to a museum and there's always this thing beside the picture and you read about the picture and then you look at the picture?
Mm,
I hate
yeah,
I hate that. I want to look at a picture and go, I like it or I don't like it. I don't want somebody to tell
yeah,
me about it first. So
yeah.
I wanted everybody to just experience it first and then find out about the program later.
I think that was very clever. I really liked it.
Thanks.
So yeah, well done.
Well, we'll see. Say, okay, we've got 3 minutes. Do you want to go get a cup of tea?
I actually just had my like seventh cup of tea of the afternoon, so I think anymore I'll probably be like,
So, do you have permission from your parents?
ooh, kind of invaded their bedroom at the moment. So
So, how's life in lockdown now out there?
it's
Quiet.
okay. It's nicer than I quite like being at home and doing working on stuff.
Yeah, it's nice. I've been enjoying it, kind of. Weird.
Yeah,
I th
yeah.
I think also I've had who's hi, Dave Marshall. Okay. We don't know
Might
who
be one of
that
the
is. It's
kids' parents,
fine.
maybe.
Yeah, I can change everybody's names so we don't have to worry about our names being on here. Rename. I'm just gonna rename him. Um, I have found that I have less of FOMO, fear of other people's, wait, it's FOBO? Fear of other people having more fun? What's it called?
I think it is FOMO. Yeah,
Yeah, that I'm not worried about everybody doing things that I'm not doing, and therefore I'm not having a good enough time, kind of thing. I'm
yeah.
sort of in the moment more. I'm
That's
calling you
cool.
participant two.
Yeah, I think
No,
so too.
I'm calling you participant one. We
Cool.
already have a participant two. Hey, you know what, Eva? Do you think I could ask you a favor? And if I start the meeting and other people come in, could you co-host and let them in?
Sure. I don't know how to do that, but I
Let me
totally.
see if I can do this. Make co-host. Make participant one co-host. So now when you see the
Ah.
screen, you
Yeah,
will
it says manage
be able to let
participants.
people in.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I'll totally do that for you.
Okay, great. So we'll wait like maybe four, because everybody came late to the last one. So I think we need to wait around 4 or 5 minutes. So whoever is the participant two, who I've named participant two, you can relax for the next 5 minutes, go get yourself something to eat. You don't have to be seen on the screen, so you could, be playing checkers or something like that, and while you're listening, it'd be fine. Okay.
Cool.
This is the weird part where I'm waiting for everyone.
I know, I hate that part of meetings. It's like everybody gradually comes in. That's like that with our university ones. Like they all come in like 10 minutes late and you're like waiting around for like quarter of an hour.
Yeah. And are you leading? Because when you're leading the meeting, you never know when to start. And, what do I
Mm,
everybody while we're waiting? Kind of.
yeah, it'd be pretty nightmarish. I am Anne Robinson has been asking me to do GSO sectionals for the brass, and it's really weird. I don't like it.
Because you're not getting any feedback either.
No, no.
Right.
So it's interesting. I can't hear them either because I have to do it with the mute on when they're playing.
You can, because what you could do is you could get a recording of yourself doing it. And then
Ah,
while you are playing the recording and they're playing along with you, you can unmute someone and see how they're sounding.
that's really clever. Oh, cool. Thank you, Beth.
But the only problem is that everybody else will hear that person as well, but you don't have to say who's unmuted.
That's actually a really good idea.
So
That's
they
a really
might
good
be
line.
embarrassed because not only will you hear them, but they will be heard by others, I think.
Right. There might be a
Might be
function where you can,
embarrassing. Yeah.
yeah, that's something I need to look into. I need to have like a practice session and
Yeah.
try and do that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so I just put on like if you have a recording of the pieces, like is there any recordings of the pieces on YouTube?
Yes, there are actually,
Right. So
that's a really
you
good
could
idea.
play the recording, have everybody play, and then quietly unmute and see how they're doing.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I think I'll try that for next week's sectional because it was a bit weird today because I only had one person last week, so that was fine, so I could actually hear them.
Yeah.
But then I had five people today and I couldn't hear any of them because
Right.
they were
Yeah.
all,
You're just playing.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Uh,
that's a good idea.
yeah, and it also frees you up because you don't have to play. So I've been leading rehearsals
Good.
with Garden City Orchestra and with Dunedin, where I just play the YouTube and I just listen.
That's a really good boy.
Yeah. All right, there's only
Clever.
three of us. Come on. I hope some other people come, please.
Where's you
Mm,
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
I was trying to gather our crew, but they've all run off because they're kind
Oh,
of.
that's okay. Who is this?
I've
Hi.
got Tess. Well, I had Tess.
Hello. Okay, so there's more than three of us. Good. There'll be more than us. Okay. I was hoping the
oh,
other people from ISO or Sinfonia would show up, but it was kind of by email, so maybe people didn't see it or something. But we'll give it a good old try.
Yeah, it's good. So Tess is in. What are you? Sinfonia.
Oh yeah, I remember. And
And this is just Pippa, who is not in either of them. It's just a sister.
oh, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. So we'll wait like two more minutes. Go get yourself a cup of tea because you don't need to be seen on the screen and you don't even have to look at me on the screen. You could be sitting on your couch and hearing us because it's mostly by audio. There's no visuals that I need to see. But one thing I would recommend if you have do you have your instrument? Yeah, I'm going to have you play something very easy, just a D major scale that's going to be sounding weird. If you want to play it on your instrument, it might be cool. So if you want your instrument, go and get it and just be ready. Okay?
Yeah, but the pianos over there. I know. You could try. Hey, Pip, have you turned this weird vacuum? That virtual background off?
You click there.
Oh yeah, you're on virtual background.
Yeah,
And you click virtual background.
Well, we don't want that.
And you click none.
None. Get rid of that.
Now there you are. Okay.
I have a funny thing where my music teacher uses a virtual background, but his head looks like it's floating in space.
Yeah, you need like the green screen type of background.
I actually have Snap Camera. I don't know if my thing will work, but supposedly it works. Hold on. Snap Camera.
Never-
Why is that? It doesn't say select camera. I have Snap Camera, but it does not working anymore.
Oh,
It's fun. It's called Snap Camera, Eva. It's really fun.
oh, cool. Is it like you take a snapshot of yourself
No,
and then
what it does is it superimposes some stuff on you.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like Snapchat.
Yeah. Wait a minute, hold on. FaceTime camera. It doesn't show. Should be a Snap Camera, but it won't let me. Oh well. I'll have to,
That's quite a cool setting.
yeah. All right. 5:06. Let's begin. So if anybody comes in, just let them in.
Cool.
Okay.
No worries.
So you guys, I'm going to mute you. And I'm actually even putting the screen over to my other screen so that I can look at myself. I mean, not look at myself because that is very distracting. And this is going to take around 30 minutes-ish. Okay? So sit back and relax. And yeah, and I hope you enjoy it.
I'll hide our video as well, so we can get involved. How about that?
Okay. All right. So thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you spending a Saturday afternoon here when you had so much to do in town, like going to concerts and restaurants and not, because we're in COVID-19. So you can change your name and you can delete your image so that you don't have to be seen. And you can definitely mute your audio. And you can definitely feel free to move about, eat lunch, eat dinner. And because most of this is, 99% of this is going to be audio. So what I am going to ask you to do, though, is after my presentation, I have a survey that I'd like you to take. It's for my PhD, and it's going to show me what it takes to help people really engage with classical music. It's very short. It's easy to do. It's 10 to 15 minutes. The kids can do it, too, with your permission. It's anonymous, and there's no contact info collected. So I hope that you go back to the email and there's a link there. And I am assuming that anybody under 18 has permission from their parent or caregiver to be here. I have to say that. So we is still in lockdown, level 3. It still feels like we're in our own bubbles. Not much going on. Have to just stay at home most of the time. Lovely COVID-19, aren't we delighted? I would like to inspire us, get some joy and some hope from this music that I'm going to play for you. My mission in life, I've always decided, was to engage people with classical music. And my PhD study is all about that, about how to get people more engaged, even if you've already listening to classical music, even if you already play, which you do, classical music, how to get it even deeper into your lives. Because we know that classical music does something that rock or pop or hip hop doesn't do. Those are all wonderful. I listen to them when I'm cooking and everything, but when I listen to classical music, it taps something deeper in me. So I'm not going to talk about the facts or about the music. I'm not going to talk about the program or what it's about or anything, because I don't believe in that. I think that we should just enjoy how it feels first. I am going to play you a wonderful piece of music called C Interlude number 2 by a composer named Benjamin Britten. Before we do, let's just get into it. We're at level 3, but we might be going to level 2 this week, at the end of the week. Might be able to go back to work or school and see some friends and our coworkers and even teachers that we didn't like. It's going to be exciting. So I'd like everybody to just say, yippee, on the count of 3. And you can unmute yourself if you want. But I'm going to count to 3 and everybody just say, yippee! Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yippee!
Yippee!
Okay, how about we say 1, 2, 3, yeah! Finally! Ready? After how many weeks? 6 weeks. Ready? Yeah, finally. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Finally! All right, how about one more? Woohoo! Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woohoo! Lockdown's over. All right, so listen to this music and see if it feels like that. Felt pretty exciting, right? Like, yes! So that opening of this piece See Interlude number 2. I think is worth the whole thing. If I just listened to that opening and nothing else, it would do something for me. There's excitement, there's joy, there's hope. It's exactly what we need for our COVID-19 world. Did you hear the bells? Or actually the horns that sound like bells, the French horns, and the winds doing that aggressive thing after it, that jagged leaping, right? When things leap, it's exciting. When things are step by step by step, it's very calmly. But when things leap, it's exciting. So when I hear it, I feel like it could be like a hip hop dance. Like if we were doing TikTok, we could do a little dance on it. So what I'm going to ask you to do again is do something with the music. I will dance to the music, and you can too, because I don't need to see you. If you want to turn your video off, you can. And dance to it. What I would like you to do is just feel that kind of jagged, Okay, here we go. Kind of fun, huh? So, you heard the repeat? It repeats again. And this time it builds up to another climax, and the strings do the jagged attacks. And the winds now sort of echo the strings in between the cracks. So it's kind of like what I feel like we're back at school, we're back at work, we're seeing everybody for the first time in 6 weeks, and we're talking and we're saying, how you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God, look at your hair. Oh my God, you've lost weight. Oh my God, you've gained weight, right? So we're gonna see everybody's gonna feel like that. So we're gonna call that opening A. I'll play it for you one more time with the repeat, when the strings come in and do the exact same thing. Here it comes. Now the strings have it. And now we get into another section. I'll call this the B section, the second section. Exactly opposite, or kind of opposite, to the A section. Low, smooth strings playing legato or smoothly, but they're playing with leaps again. Remember, leaps are exciting. And they're all over the place. It's not a gorgeous melody. You couldn't sing this melody, but there's something big and wide and open about it. Kind of like the feeling I have when I found out that McDonald's is open again. Yay! So what I want you to do is feel that. Why don't you stretch your arms over your head, big and wide, and open up to a big brand new world. Yay! We're back again. So in the middle of the B section, there's flutes playing like little birds, and they're going little bird-like figures. And to me, it feels like the same thing of yippee, ooh, ah, wow, great. So everybody say that right now. You can unmute yourself and everybody say either yippee or ooh or ow or wow or nice, woo, yeah. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Unmute. 1, 2, 3. Yippee! Ooh, ah, wow, way! Ooh, nice, wow, nice. Okay, that's That's the B section. And the B section goes all the way through and then builds right back up to the A section again. And this time when the A section comes back, yippee, Ava, the trumpets have the melody. The trumpets play the jagged theme. And real bells, you'll note, real bells are playing. So let's hear it again from the B section back to the A, but a new A. Yes! Oops. And it goes right back to the B section. So this keeps happening. A section, B section, the nice slow legato, and then the A section, and then the B section, until finally the whole piece fades out. So I'm going to now tell you the story behind the piece. It's a nice program. It feels good, but I wanted you to feel the music first, and I hope that helped. So this music, this piece, the Interlude number 2 from C Interludes, is part of a larger work from an opera called Peter Grimes that Benjamin Britten wrote. And Benjamin Britten lived back in the early or in the mid 20th centuries, in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. He wrote this music. I'm not exactly sure of the date. But Peter Grimes is a wonderful opera, but actually people like this C Interlude and the other ones with them just as much as the opera. So an interlude, what an interlude means is the break, is a little section between the different scenes. So literally during this interlude, the curtain could be closed and the scene could be set, and the audience is sitting there waiting for the new scene to happen, but listening to this music. And so therefore the music helps everybody get ready for the next scene, is introducing the next scene. And this interlude number 2, and I didn't want to tell you at the beginning, I did it on purpose, is called Sunday Morning. And the reason why it's called Sunday Morning is that in the scene that's coming up, this town that the opera takes place in, it's a town from long ago in England, from back in the 1800s or early 1900s, and it is an old town, and people worked very, very hard in those days. Oh, and the town is by the sea. It is a seaside town. And people worked hard all week. They worked 6 days a week back in those days, and they worked from 7 in the morning until 7 at night in those days. It was a really much more difficult life than we have right now, even with COVID-19. And the only day that these people had off was Sunday. So on Sunday, they got to see everybody. They got to go into town, dress up, go to church, right? Because they wanted to go to church and get that spiritual uplift and be able to see all their friends and even relatives. So this describes Sunday morning. Getting together, the people getting together with the church bells, you heard them, and the chattering of the birds and the sea, and it all is describing this wonderful scene on Sunday morning. But, there's something dark and ominous about it too. There's something not quite right in the music. And that's because this opera is about this guy named Peter Grimes, who was a sailing ship captain. And he's in love with this beautiful, wonderful woman. which is lovely, but he's being accused by the town of violent crimes and even murder. So there's this dark undercurrent of, oh, did he do it? And should we accuse him? But he's a nice guy and he loves this woman. So we hear all of that in the music. We hear the horns playing the church bells. We hear the strings playing in leaps with the excitement, the flutes sounding like birds, the offbeat rhythms and the attacks. And then finally, you actually get real bells, real chimes playing. One of the things that is wonderful about this piece musically, and because you're musicians, I can really explain this to you, is that Benjamin Britten does some weird stuff with the arrangement of pitches. Usually when we arrange pitches, it's called modes, and usually we play in major or minor. And modes, the collection of pitches or the scale that we play in, like a G major scale, has an emotional effect on us. So major, if we're playing in a major key, it sounds happy. And if we're playing in a minor key, it sounds sad. And sometimes when we play jazz or pop music, we play in the blues mode. And that's sort of a happy and sad together. So if you ever wanted to figure out about modes, all you have to do is go to a keyboard and play all the white notes, starting at any note you want. So if you played D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D on the piano, all white notes, no sharps, no black notes, you would be playing in the Dorian mode. It's a special mode called Dorian, different than major and minor. So Benjamin Britten, this piece is in D major, and you can play a D major scale right now. I'll play it too. Let's listen to a D major scale right now, and we'll hear how it sounds. If you want to pick up your instrument, you can, but here, I'll play it. Happy. Happy. But what Benjamin Britten does is he adds something called the Lydian mode to it. And the Lydian mode is, instead of playing D, E, F sharp, G, A, he says D, E, F sharp, G sharp. He raises the fourth degree, a half step. So the Lydian mode sounds like this, a combination of the Lydian mode and the major mode with that G sharp. Listen to it. Did you hear it? That G sharp, man, wow, it just sort of makes it really different. And what happens is that there's this eerie kind of strange feeling to that scale that you don't get with a major scale because of that one G sharp, or the Lydian mode. People have described the Lydian mode, the effect of it, as being airy or open, or the sky. Kind of makes sense when you're thinking about Sunday morning. But it also can sound a little chilly or eerie or acid. And that's what he does. He affects us with that scale. There's one other thing I wanted to point out to you. When the horns play at the very beginning, and that beautiful opening that's so exciting, they're playing in thirds, the interval of a third. One horn is playing D, and another horn is playing F sharp. And then the second horn goes to, the first horn goes to E, and the next one goes to G sharp, and then F sharp to A. And the interval of a third is a lovely interval. Intervals can have effects on us too. So for example, if I played you a perfect fifth between D and A, it would sound like a hero, like the king has entered the room. Listen to this. The king has entered. There's another interval. Benjamin Britten doesn't play with it too much. Actually, maybe he does. You're right, he does. D to G sharp. An augmented fourth, meaning instead of a perfect fourth from D to G, which sounds very nice, he makes it into an augmented fourth, which is a very devilish, sinister kind of interval. It is so sinister that the Catholic Church back in the medieval days told any composer that if they used that interval in their piece, they would be burnt at the stake. That's how devilish that interval was considered. So here is the augmented fourth. The augmented fourth. And he uses these intervals, not the augmented fourth as much, but take a listen to the, no, I don't have it. That's right. That's all I wanted to do. So he just did major thirds and minor thirds. Major thirds feeling like they're happy, but then minor thirds feeling like they're sad. And yes, that augmented fourth is in there too. Let me just hear it again one more time. Ooh, yeah. Has he murdered someone? So, the other interludes, this is interlude number 2, and there's interlude number 1, which is Dawn, the start of J. Then this interlude, which is Sunday morning, and then there's a beautiful interlude called Moonlight. And then the 4th interlude is very dramatic, and it's called Storm. Any one of those interludes, I would totally recommend. This one would be wonderful for you to listen to. So I'm going to play the whole thing now from beginning to end. And what I'm going to ask you to do is, if you want, you don't have to, but if you want, you can go into the chat room and you get the chat thing, and you can type any message you want here. You can write comments about the music, about how you feel about it. You can ask me any questions. You can tell me what scene from a movie you would, like you'll use this movie and you're a movie producer, what scene would you put it in? Or when would you play this during your day? At what point in your day would you like to play this music? On your way to work? Something like that. And anything that you're really enjoying, okay? You can share. It's somewhat private. There's only 3 of us here, but okay. But let's listen to it all the way through. And but before I finish, one thing is at the end of this, please, please, please go to my email. And if you can click the link to the survey and take the survey for me, it would really help my PhD to collect some data. You don't have to do it right away. You don't have to do it tonight. You don't have to do it tomorrow. You don't even have to do it this week. Anytime before June 9th, if you can take the survey, I would really appreciate it. And the kids take the survey separately than from the adults. Each one of you can take this survey with your parents' permission, of course. Okay, I'm going to play the whole thing. And let's chat while we're doing it. That's it. Gorgeous. Gorgeous in a weird way, too. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. You can unmute yourself if you want. You can ask me any questions, and we can finish. I thank you so much for coming to this. Really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, but tell me, but listen, when you take the survey is completely anonymous. So if you didn't like this, tell me. I need to learn. Okay? I really appreciate it. Okay? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. And level 2's coming. Yippee! Bye, guys.
Thank you, Beth.
Bye.
Bye.